Three Grots in a Vox is intended for a mature audience. This means there will be crude language and discussions of adult themes, especially if we're talking about Tactical Marines or Gabriel Seth. Viewer discretion is not only advised but encouraged. All opinions are our own and often given for humorous purposes. Any advice is given largely for entertainment purposes and should probably be ignored. But if you do learn something useful, count it as a win.
Hello and welcome to another rambling episode of Three Grots in a Vox. It's been a while. We've been talking about some 40k, so Games Workshop in their infinite wisdom and generosity have blessed us with Grotmas this year. This year we have a detachment based all around the Red Thirst and Black Rage and Death Company stuff called Rage-Cursed Onslaught. So we went, that's convenient. Let's talk about that for this episode.
That is convenient.
Yeah.
It's nice. We didn't get we did get a Grotmas last time, didn't we? We got
Angelic Inheritors. It's been a year.
Yeah, which I still don't like. I know John does.
No, do you know what? Having played this new detachment twice, I hate Angelic Inheritors now. It's so passive. This detachment is just run up to them, hit them in the face, and I think that's how I like to play Blood Angels. You know,
that is generally the definition of Blood Angels. It's fair. Yeah, I can see that.
And I was fighting a Stomper last night. Let me tell you the story about the Stomper, right?
Whose Stomper was it?
Brett Stomper.
Okay.
So the Stomper is toughness 14, and straight off for this detachment, right? Like we should probably just start with like the detachment rule, right? You reroll ones to wound all the time, whether you're charging or not charging. Yeah, just all the time. Reroll ones to wound in melee, all the time.
Okay, yeah, cool.
And then if you're charging, you get the same +1 to attack as Liberator Assault Group, but if you're battle shocked, you get +2 to attacks, right?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
This whole detachment is based around the idea that if your dudes are battle shocked, it's like they're too angry to know what the fuck's going on.
Because have they gone with that thing in the stratagems where if you like fall to the Red Thirst or the Black Rage, you're battle shocked and you get more benefit from this? Okay, right. So if you're going utterly crazy, then
the more batshit you guys behave,
yeah,
all right.
The better they are.
But the interesting thing is, a lot of people straight away, right, Mark, have just drawn a line and said Liberator Assault Group is still better. But I was fighting a Stomper last night, and the Stomper is toughness 14, and I was thinking about this in the game. +2 strength from Liberator Assault Group when I charge the Stomper doesn't mean shit. All my wound rolls are still absolutely terrible. I don't think it hits any breakpoints. You know, like the Thunderhammer or the Power Fist goes from like strength 8 to strength 10. Well, it's still 5s to wound a Stomper.
So you want to be going from strength 7 to strength 8, really?
Potentially. So maybe it helps one weapon, like maybe it helps the Eviscerator. Maybe the Eviscerator is no longer wounding on 6s, it's now wounding on 5s, right? Yeah. But my point was, this detachment, I get to reroll 1s to wound with every single weapon all of the time. And when you're fighting these big, nasty, high toughness things, I was like, this is actually better. Just baseline better.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to reroll 1s to wound
every weapon, every hit, no matter every unit, no matter what they do. Yeah, okay, I can see that.
So a lot of people are already, like, I've had a lot of comments saying like, oh, you know, Liberator Assault Group's still better, and I'm like, but is it? Yeah, I mean,
is
maybe. Is it though? Yeah. So I wanted to say that this detachment rule is thematic, at least. It feels Blood Angels. It feels like a wave of red needs to come across the board. So I think that this is more like what we wanted to see in our codex, right? Where we had more than one melee option.
This feels very much like a proper Death Company detachment.
So I thought it was going to be pure Death Company, but it doesn't seem to be. It's very much... It's not, as it's saying there, it's going into the whole curse aspect, not just Death Company, the Red Thirst as well, and all of that. So I like that.
Yeah, no, I like it a lot. So,
go on, John.
Okay.
No, go on, Tony.
I was going to say, it does benefit Death Company more, perhaps, than the rest of the army, because there are a couple of things that are sort of Death Company specific. But what I like about it is, unlike that Death Company detachment, which is all about Death Company and all about you have to take casualties before you get any benefit from it, this one buffs your whole army, but maybe buffs Death Company a little bit more, which is nice because it kind of brings them up a bit, because they do have a problem in that they're not very good. So nobody uses Death Company really at the moment. So in this one, all your stuff's pretty good, but Death Company get a bit of an extra boost, which kind of helps with the internal balance.
All right, cool.
Makes them more of a viable choice in this attachment. And I think
if we ever get a rules pack for this doubles event at some point, then maybe we could look at doing this.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
So, full disclosure, I've tried both squads of Death Company now. I've tried Lamartus plus 10, and I've tried the Chaplain plus 5, obviously all with jump packs.
Right.
And the Chaplain plus 5 in this detachment is horrifically good. It's like they used to be when you had them with 5 and a Chaplain. They just kill like crazy. And I think the way that you have got to think about it, right, is like a Death Company guy with a Power Fist does 3 attacks. So if you can give him 2 extra attacks, that's like 66% more attacks, right? Like that is a bonkers amount of extra. You know, like in terms of like if you're just potentially increasing his damage cap by 66%, and then you're also building in reroll 1s to wound as well because 66% isn't enough extra damage, you know. So like so the Chaplain leading the Death Company is going to also give you the +1 to wound. That's one thing this detachment doesn't have access to. So you end up with like all these extra attacks, +1 to wound, rerolls to wound, and yeah, it's really sexy. Like I think, personally, having played both, I thought Lamartus plus 10 was good, but I think the Chaplain plus 5 Death Company, for what they cost right now, like 195 points, I think last night, that unit, 195 points, did 21 wounds to a Stomper.
It's been a while since I played, but the thought occurs to me that re-rolling wound rolls of 1 will also synergize nicely with running them with Astaroth and the mortal wounds he gives on charge.
That was my next question. Have you tried Astaroth yet? Because one of the reasons that people like Lamartes more than Astaroth, other than they just like being wrong, is that they prefer the more durable unit of Death Company.
Yes,
makes sense. But the fact that there's a strat here for 1 CP to give them all a 5-up feel no pain means it's kind of best of both worlds. You can have the extra damage of Astaroth, the extra damage of the detachment, the reroll 1s of the detachment for his horribleness, and a 5-up feel no pain for 1 CP. Just till the end of the phase as well. So it's not like an Armor of Contempt thing where it's just 1 round of shooting.
Yeah.
And I think, if I'm correct, Astaroth can go to AP4 in this detachment. That's something else that Liberator Assault Group missed a stratagem that gave you extra AP. Okay. This detachment has it. So I guess that's the difference, right? The difference is you can get extra AP in this detachment. But like,
shall we talk about the enhancements, or should we skip on through the stratagems, because we're kind of talking about stratagems already?
The enhancements are right here. We can do them. It's okay.
Lots of enhancements.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. What we got? So this is another impression I've got of this detachment. It feels to me a lot like somebody looked at what the Death Company used to be in the previous edition and went, "Oh, people are really, really sad that Death Company isn't what they used to be in the old edition. Let's give them everything that they had before, but in a new detachment, so that it's like a bit like nostalgia and people could feel comfortable and happy with."
It reminds me a little bit
those powers and abilities back. Yeah.
What they did last time with the previous Grotmas, because they did the same thing with Custodes. Because one of the things everyone was whinging about with the Custodes is that they lost all their movement for all their dreadnoughts. Everything only got slowed down. Yeah. And then they did a Grotmas that just basically said, right, this detachment turns them back into 9th edition Custodes.
Yeah.
And this feels very much in, like you're saying, with the Death Company. It's like, let's do a rollback detachment.
Yeah. There was that 5-up that you mentioned for the strat. And this first enhancement, the Reliquary there, gives a unit that has been joined by a Chaplain scout 6 inches. So you get to scout your Death Company forward 6 inches.
Yeah. Cool. But also, and equally important, don't forget the battle shock on this.
Uh-huh.
Because what that actually says is an Adeptus Astartes unit within 6 of the bearer can re-roll the result. It doesn't say re-roll a failed result.
Yeah.
Which means you can re-roll a successful result to intentionally battle shock the unit to give them all bonus attacks.
Yeah, I don't know how much that will happen in practice, though, right? That was my thought about this. The other question I had about this was a few people have said that this could be Flesh Tears related, or supposed to be, because Carmine was very much always there.
Yeah, well, they're darker red, aren't they? That kind of crimson.
So Chaplain model can get 6-inch scout. You're going to have Chaplains in this detachment. Like I said, you don't have +1 to wound, so Chaplains are... you don't have like a strap for +1 to wound, so Chaplains are super valuable in this detachment.
Oh, they always have been, yeah.
So I can't imagine you're not going to be running Chaplains, so you could take this enhancement. The next enhancement is obviously...
Maybe it's not strategic, though, because perhaps you want to keep your heavy-hitting melee unit ready to countercharge rather than to charge them forward on the first turn with scouts. It's always 50-50 whether you get the initiative and you want to scout them forward 6 and then do your 12-inch jump and then risk a charge. That's always a bit of a risky thing to do, but yeah, it's nice to have the option. It can scare the crap out of an opponent sometimes.
Of course it can. And the next one can scare the crap out of the opponent as well, because once per battle you can fight first on any unit. There's no limitations on who has that. So a Terminator Chaplain could have it, a Sanguinary Guard Captain could have it, anybody could have it.
Nice.
Well, any character, I guess.
Yeah.
So this is of no use when you charge, of course. So this is going to be primarily of use when you get charged. So I'd imagine you'd want it on a defensive unit rather than an offensive unit.
Yeah.
No, you put it on an offensive unit that might get charged that's a bit slow, like Terminators or Blade Guard. Yeah, something that's only going to be able to do its damage if it's in melee, and if someone's faster than it, can get in there without you being able to do anything about it.
Oh, sure. I largely consider Terminators more of a defensive than offensive one because they're generally slower, apart from the teleporting, of course, and they're very defensive stat line-wise. Or at least comparatively to other infantry.
Because you can, I know we're going to talk about them later, put this on your Terminator. I love Terminator Chaplains with the Fight First relic. It's like my favourite thing in the whatever it is, the standard detachment.
Yeah.
But you could use this with those new, slightly improved Thunderhammer Assault Terminators.
I think that would be a good shout, honestly. And the one thing that we should mention is that you can... with the Thunderhammer Assault Terminators, you could heroic intervene them after your opponent's... sorry, you could rapid ingress them, after your opponent's done moving, with the intention to try and heroic intervene. Because then if they do manage to heroic intervene, you could then pop this enhancement and you fight before they do, and then you get all your charge bonus as well from the heroic intervention.
Yeah, and then you mash things with the big hammers.
Yeah.
And +1 to wound and your extra attacks.
Yeah, and reroll 1s to wound, searching for more devastating wounds.
If you ever pull that off in a game, any of you watching this now, tell us exactly how tasty those salty tears were that you drank up when you did this, because that sounds like some fucking bullshit right there.
Yeah, it would be. It would be strong, though. Sanguinary Tear is the next one, which you put on any model again.
Sorry, I'm going to talk about Master of Red first, because it just occurred to me what you could also just do with it. Let's say you're playing any kind of horrible melee army.
Yes.
You just bring your unit of assault terminators down in front of them.
Yes.
Like, you just set up this huge complex charge. You could do that, but there's all these dudes in front. Go on, charge them. They're all going to hit you first.
Yeah.
Waste that turn of horrendousness that you've just planned on.
Yeah.
That's horrendous. If you've got a unit in Deep Strike with that, you're going to really ruin the day for any kind of opposing melee armies.
Yeah, I mean, you can. I brought in a unit of Death Company 2 weeks ago, and my opponent just went like, oh, I guess I'm not charging then. Because you just stand in no man's land, because if he charges, can he tank the hits before,
But if you did that with those assault terminators, then they can't even just go, oh, fuck it, I'll shoot them then.
Yeah.
Try.
Yeah, so the next one's interesting, right? We have an aura around a model that's going to give a 6-inch +1 strength characteristic to Death Company. And what I can see this being useful for, I suppose, is hitting breakpoints with Death Company models. It's kind of expensive though. It's 35 points.
I thought that with all of these enhancements,
that's a lot of points.
Really expensive.
I mean, the first two I can see being worth it. This third one, hitting breakpoints is nice, but it's also not reliably useful. You may not get the benefit from it in all situations against all enemies.
Correct, and I think that's why I'm struggling to see why I would take it for 35 points. Fair enough, it would if it takes your Thunder Hammers, up to or your Power Fists on the Death Company. If it takes them up to the breakpoint and essentially gives them +1 to wound, it's great.
And when they're good, they're good.
Yeah, but I guess it would be hard, and then you also have to have that random one guy hanging out. I mean, you could put it on a Death Company captain. So the Death Company captain with the jump pack gives the unit both +1 strength and sustained 6s, because that's what he does. So, I mean, there is options there. It just seems like a lot for 35 points. Yeah, it's the same points as Rage... No, what was it? Rage-Fueled Warrior, the one that gives you sustained 3, and it's like, what would you rather have? Like, sustained 3 or +1 strength? Are those two things both worth 35 points? I don't think so.
If I'm honest, I don't think either of them are worth 35 points anymore.
No.
Rage Fuel was worth it at 25. I've never felt it's worth it at 35.
Enhancements are very rarely these days things you build an army around, though. They seem to be things that you use to fill the last few points up with when you can't afford another squad.
Mm-hmm.
In most situations, I've found. Not all of them, but in most.
And then finally, we have Angel's Fang, which, again, on any model you want. For the whole game, you're going to get sustained hits 2 against characters, monsters, or vehicles. And that does include any unit that's attached to a character, because at that point, they will join the unit and have the same keywords. Yeah. So any character-led unit, you will also get sustained hits 2 against. So I feel like that covers like a broad... Like, that's pretty good. It's 25 points.
Yeah.
I feel like you would be able to get benefit of that multiple times per game, as opposed to, like what we just said, the sustained hit once. I think that's
just a flat better upgrade than that Sanguinary Tit. I'd rather have a Death Company captain with that and a Power Fist.
Yeah, I think so.
Than a +1 strength for the whole unit, because if you need that extra strength, it's because you're probably fighting monsters, vehicles, characters.
Correct, yeah, sure. No, that's fair. And I mean, with the amount of tax that you can get in this detachment, with the +2 and the reroll 1s to wound, you would think that would be always valuable. And Death Company reroll all the hits anyway, so you could literally reroll everything that's not 6.
Or even putting it on a someone with a Thunderhammer.
Yeah, I mean, the Captain on foot is also really interesting for that enhancement, because he can use his Finest Hour, he can get +2 from Battle Shock, he starts with 5 attacks, so he can actually be 10 attacks with his sustained hit 2 devastating wounds.
So I mean, that all hits just for
reroll hits and all wounds, potentially.
Ugh, that sounds great. I like that.
And it's 25 points. So I actually think Master of Red Thirst is 25, and Angel's Fang is 25. I think that's the two enhancements you want to be grabbing. I think Sanguinary Tear was 35, and I think the 6-inch Scout move, for whatever reason, is 30, and I think that's ludicrous.
It might even be 35. Hang on, I'm just checking. No, you're right, 30.
Which I think is ludicrous for a 6-inch Scout move. I
think it's too much. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some funny shenanigans with the Battle Shock thing, but it's not worth 30 points.
No, I don't think I'd pay for that unless I had the points left over and literally nothing else to spend it on.
Yeah.
It's nice to threaten your opponent with, but I don't really want to build a battle plan around it.
Okay. Let's talk some stratagems then, shall we?
Yep. Ooh, Armor of Contempt, that's a new one. I've never seen that before. What does that do?
Yes, we know what that does. It still gets used, though. I used it last night.
Oh, man. Yeah. There's no disputing it's good.
It's good on Sanguinary Guard. It's good. Armor of Content gets more value if you already have a great save, like a 2-up save. So Mephiston and the Sanguinary Guard, love it. Grim Warning. A Blood Angels unit for your army, when it is killed, it can sticky an objective. So this is why in this attachment you see a lot of people now running 2 Ball Predators. They're just pushing them into the middle of the board. And the way I'm running actually a Ball Predator as well. I'm also running Mephiston. I'm just getting them on the middle objectives, forcing your opponent to come out.
I'd have thought using something with bikes would be better, but
it has to be from the Blood Angels Codex. So it can't be anything from the Space Marine Codex. So it has to have the Blood Angels keyword on the datasheet.
Don't units that join your army get the keyword of the faction when they join?
They did last edition, they don't anymore.
I think one of our early episodes in 10th edition, we had this exact conversation.
Okay. Fair enough.
Then we had to get the book out, and it's right that I was wrong, and this time you're wrong on exactly the same point.
Yeah.
That did
Fair
not
enough.
doesn't matter in 10th.
My
So
apologies.
Ball Predator's the cheapest Blood Angels unit.
Yeah, I mean,
All right,
apart from the 5 Death Company on foot that nobody really takes, Ball Predators are cheap. They can sit on objective. They can do
They're fast,
actions.
they've
They
got
can
high
flame.
armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I haven't actually used it yet, but I can see the lure. And I'm playing Mephiston. I'm literally my plan with Mephiston is, before I was a bit scared to put him onto the center objective. Yeah. Now I'm just putting on the center objective, and I'm saying you need to come within 12 to shoot him, or you need to charge him. And if you do luck out and kill him, I'm going to stick you in the middle, and then that's going to score me points, and it's going to make you expose, because you're going to have to expose something reasonably strong to kill Mephiston, right? Because he's like toughness 5, 6 wounds, 4 up, feel no pain. So basically saying expose something pretty good to kill Mephiston, and even if you do kill him, I'm going to hold the middle anyway because I'm going to stick it. So that's my game plan around Grim Warning. I think that's actually pretty strong.
All right.
So I think it's good. We have a 5 up, feel no pain stratagem for Death Company only.
Yep. For 1 CP for the entire phase. Yeah, all right, cool. I'm happy to go with that. That's very nice.
We have
definitely reasons to run Death Company again.
Yeah. The next one, Limb from Limb. This is the stratagem that puts this detachment on another level. So basically, my experience in this detachment says you're going to want to play this every single turn. It's good on every single unit that you've got. It's going to give your unit +1 strength, +1 AP, but you're going to have to battle shock your unit for that. But then by battle shocking your unit, that means you then get the +2 attacks from the detachment rule and reroll wounds of 1. So what you have is +1 strength, +1 AP, +2 attacks, reroll wounds of 1. And if you've attached a chaplain in there to that unit as well, and you have +1 to wound as well, it's just becoming insanity at that point. You take your 5-man unit of Death Company, right? Attached with a chaplain. What you actually have, I believe, is 16 Power Fist attacks, 16 Power Fist attacks with AP3, +1 to wound, rerolling wounds of 1, and then you have 5 eviscerators, again AP3, and then you have 10, I think it's 12 chains. The 2 guys alone get 12 chainsword attacks. It's 6 per guy. AP2 now, +1 to wound, reroll 1 to wound, +1 strength. It's just, it's in the Sangre Guard, this is insanity as well, because your Sangre Guard go to strength 8 because they're led by a captain typically. There'll be AP3 or 4. There'll be +1 to wound if you take the Lance version. Reroll 1s to wound. It's almost like every time you do it, you have to get the data sheet out because it's so many buffs. It's so complicated.
I think this would be horrendous. It might be just huge overkill, but you could just run this, do your battle shock, and put it on a 10-man squad of Death Company with Astrath.
Yeah, well, I've tried it on a few units, right? And every unit you put it on.
But because you can re-roll all attacks with the Death Company, can't you?
Yep.
All hit
and
rolls.
They've all got devastating wounds.
Yep. And they've all got
hitting a
fuckload of attacks.
+1 strength, +2 attacks, dev wounds, re-roll 1s to wound, re-roll all hits.
It's actually insane. Basically they kill any unit they go in. I mean, they don't kill. I did a stomp that costs 800 points. It's got 30 wounds. I did 21 wounds to it with a unit that costs less than 200 points with this stratagem.
So what I'm hearing is, running this detachment, you want at least 1 captain in there to take advantage of the discount you'll get on stratagems, because you want to be playing stratagems a lot.
I was going to say, that's the thing that I've noticed. This attachment is actually super limiting on your CP, because you're going to play this 5 times.
Yeah.
There's almost no argument. Whichever unit you want to guarantee to kill, you're going to use this on it. And it's the AP difference, honestly, that makes the huge. Your Power Fists, all edition Power Fists have felt they're fine. But when you change them to AP3, it's like,
minus 2 AP is never really cut it.
No, but when they're AP3, like into the Stomper last night, he's just like, oh, right, I save on 5s. Even the Chainsword, it's like you save on 4s because the Chainswords become AP2. It just makes everything...
and the volume of attacks. Yeah, absolutely.
Really fucking killy. And like you said, if you've got Astaroth, then he's on AP4. If you've got Lamartes, he actually goes up to AP2. You know, if you've got the generic Chaplain, he still has AP3. So everybody else has good AP as well.
Oh, Astaroth will have 8 attacks. Re-rolling hits, re-rolling ones to wound, at strength 8, AP 4, damage 2, dev wounds. Just
and re-rolling ones to wound. You said that.
Precision. If you just really want to kill the character in that unit.
Yeah. Do you know? I know you were joking about the new Assault Terminators, and we're going to get to them. But if you play this on them, they are really, and they're led by the Chaplain for the +1 to wound as well.
Yeah.
That means they get 25 Thunderhammers, AP3. Like, you know, it's really strong. The one disadvantage is you are going to battle shock that unit. So that means if the unit has a banner, that helps because you keep your OC, so like Sanguinary Guard. But the other disadvantage, I guess, is your opponent then knows you're not going to have any stratagems to play defensively.
But but if you're playing that on Assault Terminators with Thunderhammers and Storm Shields, you don't really need any stratagems on
there isn't really any stratagems that help them at that point, honestly. So that would be a good unit for it.
As Drill Sergeant Zim once famously said, the enemy cannot press a button if you disable their hand. Kill the bastards first, then you don't really need to have a defensive stratagem on hand, do you?
No, so that's...
CP left anyway.
Well, that's what I was going to say about this next one. Which is 2 CP Death Company Fight on Death. I've played 2 games now with Death Company, and they've died, obviously, because that's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But because I've been playing limb for limb every turn, and because I've been rapid ingressing, obviously, in like turn 1, turn 2 and 3, I've just felt like I don't have enough CP. Like last night, I didn't kill the Stomper. I was like, if I'd had CP for Fight on Death, I would have obviously used it, but I just felt like I don't have the CP in it. So this one looks good on paper, but having 2 CP, if you're going to play, turn 1 you're going to play limb for limb, turn 2 you're going to play limb for limb and rapid ingress. So it's like, at what point in turn 3 you're probably going to do rapid ingress and limb for limb again?
That's not to say it's not worth 2 CP. It's just that 2 CP is a lot in the context of what.
Like when are you going to if you're going aggressive with limb for limb every turn and rapid ingress in it, like the opponent leaves you a space, you rapid ingress with intent to just go and kill something. It's like there isn't going to be CP for this. Not that, like you said, but I just don't see how you're going to play it, or at least haven't been able to figure it out.
Well, especially when we look at the next one as well, which you're probably going to want to play at some point.
Which is
Advance and Charge.
And it's
Advance and Shoot and Charge, so you can get that bonus attack.
And the cool thing about this one is you only play it after you've made your advance roll.
Yeah.
So if you roll 1 on your advance roll, you're like, fuck it, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, very nice.
So
but it means that you can battle shock 2 of your own units on purpose as well. So the one that you put into something a bit soft, so you can use Red Wrath it in, and then the one that you need to hit a bit harder, you limb from limb, you battle shock both units to get your bonus attacks.
The other thing that I was thinking as well, right, is like if you think people think sustained hits 1 is good, right? Well, sustained hits 1 is like 16.7% more hits, right? Because it's literally, 1 in 6.
An extra attack 1 in 6 times. Yeah, exactly.
Right, but like Battle Shock here is giving you, on the Terminators, you're going from 3 attacks to 5 attacks. It's the equivalent of having like sustained 5, right? Because you're going, or maybe not 5, but you're going from 16% on sustained 1. You're getting 66% if everybody's getting 2 extra attacks.
Yeah.
So maybe not sustained 5, but like sustained 4 or something. I can't do that math. Yes, sustained is equivalent. So this Battle Shocking your unit is the equivalent of giving that unit sustained 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's pretty, it's pretty nice. But I mean, obviously the negative thing about this is that you're battle shocked.
Yeah. Which you're not scoring points for a while, which is a problem.
Yeah. So that's the detachment in a nutshell. And
cool. I like it.
Is it powerful?
Sounds fun.
Yeah, very.
I think it's fairly powerful. Is it? I know it's got some serious death-dealing chops.
Mm-hmm.
Is it better than Sons of Sanguinius?
I think it's got two disadvantages, right? No access to lance, no fallback and charge. If you can play around those things, I think it's better. Because I think one thing that, like, Sons of Sanguinius / Liberator Assault Group, they're kind of the same thing, right?
Yeah.
I think the problem with that detachment is your AP is always kind of, like you said, Power Fists are 2. I mean, Sangre Guard have good AP, sure, but nothing else does. And you can't run all Sangre Guard because they're fucking expensive.
From a game balance point of view, no single detachment or army should ever be the awesomest ever and have all the tricks you ever want all the time, because then they'll get nerfed into the ground or pointed out and it'd just be awful and it wouldn't be balanced and good for the game. They need to have their own weaknesses and things that they don't do as well.
Look at this. I think the enhancements for Rage-Cursed Onslaught are too expensive, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, the one that lets you strike first, that's pretty good. It's the same price as the one you're paying for in lag.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the Angel's Fang is not bad if you've got something to put it on.
Yeah, I think a few of our characters are good for it, yeah.
A few of our characters are pretty good for it.
But yeah, the other two are...
Yeah.
A lot of people have criticised my lists as well in this detachment, saying that, because I only brought 10 Death Company in the 2 times I've played it, and they're like, isn't this more of a Death Company detachment? But honestly, because really. I just feel like I never have the 2 CP for the Death Company fight on death, and I know that I'm going to be rapid ingressing, and I know that I'm going to be limb for limbing, and then typically I'm the sort of player that brings some tanks, so I like to have 1 CP for a smoke screen, or maybe
if you're using all your CP every turn and you know what you're using them on and you don't need it for the Death Company stuff, then yeah, sure, absolutely.
So I think it's definitely comparable with Liberator Assault Group, and I think personally, it's just a little bit more versatile because lag can struggle if the enemy has like access to an armor of contempt equivalent and has a really good save. Like I play again, you play Grey Knights. They used to have like that true armor, whatever it is. They save on 2s anyway, and they can ignore 1 AP. And when they use that on you, it's just like, oh, you just feel like you're hitting them with a wet flannel. You just don't kill anything.
I think this definitely leans into a different army list, if that makes sense. So I think that chainswords are still better in lag.
Probably.
Especially with things like that silly combo with the Sanguinary Priest. You did that.
Yeah.
Didn't you? And that can be really, really nice, and that gives you that solves your AP problem a little bit. And the fact that you're all smacking at strength 6 is really quite nice because all of them are. So I think that lag's a little bit less CP dependent.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I would say that. I agree.
I think what this is a detachment for Death Stars. So I think if you're playing lots of small units, and you like that style and you want to have lots of little cheap throwaway units and stuff, I think lag's your better bet because all of those units are going to have access to that kind of that spiking damage. It's not quite as big as the spike from this, but you can have it 5 times on a table in one turn.
With this one, you can choose where the power spike hits.
You have 1 death unit each turn.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right.
Spread that out a little bit. So I think it depends on what you're playing into as well. So if you're playing into someone that's really leaning heavily into a few very powerful units that are going to be tough nuts to crack, then Rage-Cursed is just a far better detachment. You're going to kill a Stomper, or you're going to kill this horrible unit with Gazkul in it and all this sorts of stuff. But if you're playing someone like, if you're playing a nasty World Eaters list, for example, that's got lots of horrible little units, then I think you'd be better off playing with lag because you've got lots of horrible little units as well.
Probably as well as if you're playing something like Demons, where everything's got an in-run save and the extra AP doesn't help you, then this detachment is weak with lag as well.
So I think it's really going to be quite matchup dependent. Into some to some lists, this is just a far better. I mean, what are the biggest boogeyman units at the moment? I mean, I've not been hugely on with the current tournament scene. I know Death Guard got a bit of a nerf, but they still look pretty powerful to me.
One of my local Eldar players is busy whinging. It's really funny.
I think it's still the fucking Negrons, man. It's like the Silent King and his Menhirs or the Catans. They're the big boogeymen.
Those are sort of things where your little bit of AP is not going to benefit you really very much.
No, not at all.
So into something like a Necron's army, I think I'd prefer to play Lag.
Yeah, because you could, like you said, you just charge them all over the board, 5 places.
You just charge them all over the board to spread their defensive stuff thin rather than not letting them bunch up. Whereas in this one, you've got one thing that you're piling it all into. But that also allows them to concentrate their defensive.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's a fresh take though. And I think it's nice to have options. That's what I like about it. And it's what Mark was saying, that this is not a better detachment than some of our other options. This is an equally good detachment. Yeah, so, I agree.
Because you don't want to be in a position where there's just, well, no, why would you take anything else? Just run this. Like the Custodes, why would you run anything except that new one with the mega fast walkers? I don't care how on paper the other ones are better. No. If I'm going to run them now, I'm run the fast runners, the fast dreadnoughts. So this one is, I like to play with a Death Star unit. I think you could have really powerful. I really like the idea of running a horrible Astarath-led Death Company of Doom. But probably a little separate one as well. 5 guys and a chaplain for cheap.
So I kind of like the idea of running at this from a slightly different way that you're thinking of it, Tony, which is going with the MSU, all the little units in the world. But depending on where I need to hit hard on any given turn and any given moment, I can power that one up. And I don't really care which one you kill. They're all basically the same. And then we'll just, that one can get touched by...
You can move around your most powerful... unit
you're not reliant on a specific tool. They can all
absolutely do whatever. The only thing I will say is, although this does buff up, like John was saying, that 5-man unit of Death Company with a chaplain is very powerful in this. It's not quite powerful enough to, in John's case, kill the Stomper or any of these kind of, like, if you're fighting Mortarion, not going to have enough to go at it. You're going to put your CPs in there, and they're going to do some damage, and then they're all going to die.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what happened against the Stomper.
I don't think with this you could... I mean, I might be wrong, but I don't think you can use this to push them over that kill Mortarion in the turn limit.
That's fair.
Without bringing a bigger unit.
Yeah, I think
I haven't done the maths. I could be completely wrong. I'm sure someone in the comments will tell me how wrong I am.
No, I think you'd have to commit to a giant 10-man blob, which we don't see Marine players doing.
You're right in principle. Absolutely. I mean, there's always going to be situations where that's correct.
Yeah. So anyway, but that's what it's for. It means that this is a good, viable choice.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of options in this list. Like, someone turned me on to the idea that you could take like the chaplain on a bike with Outriders, because Outriders give you that +1 strength, +1 damage when they charge. So his Crozius could become damage 3. It would get +1 strength on the charge. He could battle shock to get like up to 7 attacks, I think. He could use limb for limb, so his Crozius is now AP 2 damage 3 and strength 8. And then I think he's giving +1 to wound as well. And then you could top it off by giving him sustained hits 2 against characters, monsters, and vehicles. So you've got a guy with 7 attacks, I think, sustained 2, damage 3, strength 8, AP 2, which is like, we just don't have access to anything like that in the current.
So here's your challenge then, John. Write and run an army where it's an MSU army, but every unit is led by a chaplain.
I mean,
gets rid of all the weaknesses, doesn't it?
Chaplain on bike, 3 of them. Chaplain on jump pack, 3 of them. Terminator chaplains, 3 of,
it's not a bad shout. It's their one weakness, and you be strong when you get charged in that case, because you'd still have the +1 to wound. The chaplain isn't giving lance; he just gives flat +1 to wound. So, why don't we talk about the Terminators then? Because they got a new data sheet.
I'm just looking at the bike chaplain for a second, just because I can. I don't think that's a very good combo.
No, I thought it seemed good.
That's a lot of points you're investing in a unit that's...
How many points for the 4 models?
Because I mean, the unit bikes is fairly cheap. We know that.
Yeah, 80 for the bikes.
Your chaplain, he's 75 points, and then you're giving him... So he'll be 100 points just for him and his enhancement and 7 attacks at strength 8. It's all right. It's not bad.
Sustain 2 though, and he could re-roll everything. You could
He's
push
only
for
AP
6s.
2. The moment somebody chucks a armor of contempt at him, he's AP 1.
Well, yeah.
I don't think that you can buff. Unfortunately, you used to be able to. I don't think you can buff a chaplain up, regular chaplain up, to be killy enough. Yeah, he really benefits his unit. That's what the chaplain does: is give +1 to wound. And as cheap as Outriders are, they're great value for points. Even with their +1 to wound, they're still not great. They've still got chainswords.
They're good against Gretchen.
They're good against unarmored infantry. I think what you'd end up with is something that could do quite a lot of Space Marines if he charged it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I haven't run that combo yet, but it seems somewhat interesting.
Yeah, I just think if you're going to buff something, you need something that's got a little bit more AP to start with.
Yeah, which sends you back to the Burfist, which is fine. It's a valid point.
Yeah.
All right. So let's have a look at these Terminators then. What's the deal?
Well, I've got to find this thing for it.
Does this include the buff that they've now got? This data
this
sheet?
is the new data sheet for Terminator Assault Squad.
All right, okay.
So the changes were Thunderhammers hit on 4s rather than 3s.
Sorry, hit on 3s rather than 4s.
Yeah, sorry. And Lightning Claws got +1 attack.
Yeah.
And then they changed the Terminator Assault rule so it no longer requires you to make a charge. It's just every fight phase.
That's interesting.
So 3 positive changes, right?
Yeah.
It's just
how many points did they go up by?
They still 170 points.
180 for these guys, so the same points they were before. Yeah, it's the other Terminators with the bolters are 10 points cheaper.
Yeah.
But I think this is interesting, right? And especially if we talk about the new detachment, like being able to get 5 attacks per Terminator, pretty cool. Or get 8 attacks with Lightning Claws per Terminator, also pretty cool. You can also mix the squad, so you can, have 3 Sword and Board and 3 Lightning Claws if you want. Or sorry, 2 Lightning Claws, can't count.
Yeah.
And the Sword and Board guys have 4 wounds. Obviously, if you attach a chaplain to them as well, they have +1 to wound all the time.
Yeah.
And they would also get the other bonus from the chaplain, which is a 4-up feel no pain against mortal wounds. Like, that's just his inherent thing, I guess.
+1 to wound and twin linked is nice.
Of course it is, yeah.
Buff them up with lag or that rage curse.
Well, I think that's the thing.
+1 to wound, twin linked.
That's the thing that I was thinking, right? Like Lightning Claws last edition, everyone's running them all the time. Why were we running them all the time last edition? Well, last edition they were AP3, and they were pretty fucking good at AP3. So obviously this, no one runs them now at AP2, but here in this detachment, you can go AP3. And you can also make those Thunderhammers AP3. And remember, you are re-rolling 1s to wound on those Thunderhammers. So it's 25 attacks, which is a good Oath of Moment. So 25 attacks, Oath of Moment. Oath of Moment is an 88% chance to hit.
That's true. You're wasting the reroll 1s to wound if you're running a twin-linked weapon, which is a thought.
Mm-hmm. But I think what's interesting is 25 Thunderhammer attacks, of which you'll hit like 22 and change. And
Every time I look at these new Terminator models, and they're just so good.
I know.
I haven't bought any yet, and I really want some. But I'm trying to hold on.
Did they actually sell them out of the Crux Terminatus box yet?
I think they have. I don't know. I'd have to look. But I really like them. But I've got like 15 of the standard ones.
Yeah, me too.
Ones, and I really can't justify buying these ones that just look slightly better.
Owning a set of the Space Hulk Blood Angel ones and having bought some Blood Angel Assault Terminators and stuff. Yeah. These ones look awesome. But having got a kind of investment in them already, haven't you, really? So, yeah, I get that.
So I think personally, I think that the Terminators with Thunderhammers are quite an interesting choice in... I'm not sure I like them in Liberator Assault Group, but I think I love them.
I like them more than I did.
In Rage-Cursed.
Just so they get the freeze. But compare them to
didn't like
regular.
them much at all previously anyway, so that's not a low bar. That's not a high bar.
No. But if you compare them to regular Terminators, because I've been running regular Terminators for the whole edition, I think they're brilliant.
Yeah.
And I very rarely go out without a set of regular Terminators with a Terminator Chaplain. And I usually give him that Fights First enhancement as well, and that's kind of a start of my list.
Yeah.
Because you charge him, he's going to smack you in the face. He charges, he's going to smack you in the face. But whatever way you're going to spin this, I'm hitting you at strength 10 plus 1 to wound.
Yeah.
And 3 attacks a dude. So if I've got the Thunderhammer, I lose the incidental bolt of fire, but I've got exactly the same melee profile, but with devastating wounds.
Yeah. Losing the incidental bolt of fire, whatever.
But occasionally
it'll chip a wound or two off. Yeah.
It will chip off. And actually it's not a tiny amount. It's a fair amount of screen killing chatter with the odd missile in there as well. Do I want to pay 10 points more to lose that missile and that shooting for the chance of devastating wounds? I think in lag, I don't.
Tony, you're avoiding the real question here. And the real question is, by taking Thunderhammer Terminators that don't have Power Fists, where are you going to put the Hazard Stripes? And that's your real conundrum, isn't it? You can't face taking a unit of Terminators that don't have Power Fists with Hazard Stripes on.
I do love my Hazard Stripes.
No, I
you're not wrong. Every single one I've got has got Hazard Stripes on it. Even the Chain Fists have Hazard Stripes. Not that I'd run Chain Fists in 10th edition.
I'm pleased by this change. I feel like I would be willing to try the 5 with the Chaplain, whereas before I just wasn't willing to entertain it.
I think if I was in that, if I was going to run that Rage-Cursed, I'd be quite happy to give these a go, because I think that deep striking, rapid ingressing, Chaplain, Terminator Assault Squad unit of horribleness
with Fight First. Yeah, it's fucking horrible.
Really fuck up someone's day.
Yeah.
Whereas in lag, yes, I know you can still do that. The strats don't quite line up quite so well for it. It's the bonus attacks that would make it really horrendous that lag wouldn't get.
Have you run an episode, John, or run the math on the likelihood of succeeding at a heroic ingress after rapid ingressing, as you described earlier?
I mean, you would need typically you're going to need a 6 on 2 dice. So how often do you fail a 6-inch charge, I guess, right? Because if they're not within 6, you can't heroic intervene. So actually you need a 5. So you need a 5 on 2d6. So I mean, the maths I assume is pretty good on that. I haven't.
So you're relying on ingressing in, and then they'll be just behind a unit that you're expecting them to charge into, which will be within heroic intervention range, hopefully.
So apparently the chance of getting a 5 or more on 2d6 is 83%. So
how often do you think you'd be able to orchestrate that sort of scenario?
Well, the probably pretty easy, right? Because your opponent's going to move up to make their charge somewhat easy, right? So they're going to move within 4 or 5 inches. So you're going to rapid ingress 9 inches away from them, and if they're 4 or 5 inches from your model, then arguably the second they move in 4 or 5 to your 9, you're going to easily be able to make a 4 or 5 inch charge. So it's, I suppose, like if the battle's all like clumped around, but at the start of the battle, at the very start of the battle, when they're coming towards you and you're coming towards them, and there's been no other shenanigans, you're easily going to be able to jump behind your unit they're coming towards. If you might need to leave some spaces in your unit so that your guys can charge through your lines. But I mean, you would know that, right? You know that you'd have that unit of Terminators. Or you
clump your unit up really tight, close, so they have to go around it and around the edges.
Yeah. And remember, there's a big disadvantage There's a huge disadvantage in 10th edition is they have to end in base contact if they can. So let's say they roll a 10 on their charge and only 5 inches away. They have to push models way forward that they don't want to if they can end in base contact. And in that point, you may end up where it's like your model, you basically almost need a Snake Eyes. Anything but Snake Eyes, and you're into that heroic and you're fighting first. Yeah, and I mean, sometimes like that can just, they can end up not killing what they need to kill, and now you're on one more objective in the start of your turn because you did that all in their turn, and it's like, oh, by the way, you didn't kill what you need to kill, and my 5 fucking Terminators, who are now going to auto battle shock because it's my turn, or unbattle shock, excuse me, are going to now hold that objective, and you actually gave me points for primary in that situation. So I think if you practiced it, it's totally doable.
I would want to run the Sanguinor in an army where I was doing that as well, to have multiple units that could just mess that sort of thing up.
Really screw. If you're playing, if you were playing a melee army, that would be really very unpleasant. And I just got in my head this really cool image of like them lining up to come, the hordes coming down or whatever, and then just like the big teleport flash, and then evenly spaced these big old dudes with the shields are just like stepping in front of your army, like, come and have a go if you think you're hard enough. What an image!
Yeah, no, it would be cool, wouldn't it?
Cool.
So they're good now. I think I'd play them.
I think they're good. I think they're better in Rage-Cursed than they are.
I saw those buffs and I thought, that's a bit okay. They're buffing them a little bit because they're releasing some new models. That's not going to make a lot of difference.
Hitting on 3s is a massive difference.
Yeah.
It massively improves it because now, statistically, they were identical. Sorry, they were worse than the Power Fists. Now they're identical, if not slightly better because of good wounds.
Yeah, I would say they're slightly. I think they're slightly better now.
They are just better in melee now. They just lose the shooting. So
they've
gone worse to better.
Yeah, and in that Rage-Cursed attachment, they're even better because it's not just 16% are dev wounds. It's 16% plus all the ones potentially as well. So
the Rage-Cursed is designed literally to buff melee, and they're a pure melee unit. So ultimately, they're going to be massive beneficiaries.
I think I would almost certainly run them if I was running that Rage-Cursed. In my head, I'm thinking, right, I want 5 Terminators with a Terminator Chaplain. I want a 10-man blob with Astaroth, and I want a 5-man blob with a regular Chaplain of Death Company.
Are we writing our doubles list now?
And then I'm filling everything else up with.
This is kind of what this is it? Okay.
Just Vindicators for the rest.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I mean, Vindicators are still good. So let's talk Codex Space Marines. There was a few points changes.
Yes.
Okay.
I think we'll focus on the generic Space Marine stuff first, and then if we want to come back to the other characters, we can, because I'm not super familiar with. Aggressors went down 5 or 10 points. I feel like. Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're getting better.
They're all right.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think their problem is they're just not as cool as Terminators.
It's 3 dudes with Power Fists.
Twin Link Power Fists.
And a lot of low strength DACA.
And a lot of slightly shitter DACA than the Terminators get.
Yeah. And you'll have it at AP3 with +2 attacks per model in the Rage-Cursed.
Yeah. I mean, they're all right.
Yeah.
Unit 6 is expensive, 190.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest problems with the aggressors for us is you can't put a Chaplain with them.
True.
Yeah. It's fair.
So what they are, it's a bit like Centurions. They are what they are.
Yeah, and you can't deliver them without spending like 200 points on a transport, really.
They're good in other detachments when you attach a apothecary to them and all that kind of stuff, and buffing with different things, but just not in this one. Yeah.
Or you can put the Gravis Captain with them. There was that new one with a chainsaw, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm.
That melee Gravis Captain, but even he's not as good as a Chaplain.
No.
So without the +1 to wound, there is a strap. You could strap them to give them lance. That would make a difference.
But at which point, just run a unit with a Chaplain instead.
So I just don't think they're very good. They're okay, and I'm sure that they're better in other detachments. In Firestorm, for example, with that +1 strength in short range, suddenly makes the incidental fire a little bit more unpleasant.
Cool. Yeah, I don't think I'm super excited about aggressors. Eradicators went down.
Good.
Again,
they're useful.
We just don't see them very much in Blood Angels either, do we?
No. They don't really have the mobility to keep up with the sort of things you want Blood Angels to do?
I prefer tanks.
Me too.
Reds because they're faster.
Lieutenant went down to the same points as Tech Marine. He's now 55 points.
Excuse me.
Lieutenant.
You're not American. There we go. Yep, good.
I think the big problem with the Lieutenant was always, what do you put him with?
Blade Guard. Lethal hits, fall back and charge. I feel like it's worth.
Yeah.
It could be worth it. I mean, if the new detachment has a downfall, it is no fallback and charge. This could give you fallback and charge on. I think about all you can probably go with is Blade Guard for melee wise. You probably go with Assault Intercessors, but
can he join with a chaplain, or is it just with a captain? I can't remember.
Just with a captain, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you can go with Company Heroes.
The thing is, though, I think Blade Guard still would work, but I'd still rather put a chaplain with Blade Guard than I would that.
Yeah, no, that's a valid point. The chaplain would definitely do more damage than the lethal hits.
Not that many more points, is he? How many points?
5.
Is the chaplain?
5 more points.
So he's still only 5 points more.
Yeah,
and I just think +1 to wound on Blade Guard would be much more effective than lethal hits.
The Centurion Devastators went up because I think everybody was using them.
Were they?
Yeah.
I don't even own any.
No, neither do I. A lot of people.
They've always been shooty up and down. So yeah, I can see
I think that's why people are using them in some detachments.
Remove them from the board. Everyone was using them with Raven Guard.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
People used them with the Vanguard Spearhead a lot in this edition. I think they probably got nerfed because they're in that new detachment. I can't remember what it's called, but
the Raven Guard one.
Yeah, the Raven Guard one.
Yeah. And they're benefiting from stealth and shooting from long range. I can see that.
Yeah.
Vanguard Veterans went up 5 and 10 points.
What?
This seems like a bit of a strange. The data sheets didn't change, did it?
No. I can't remember the last time I saw any Vanguard Veterans on the table.
I think it was that Raven Guard detachment again was using them.
Yeah.
Have they got some special buff to them? I haven't
well, it's a jump pack melee unit, isn't it?
Yeah, there was something that the Raven Guard could do to them. I can't remember why. It was like repositioning them or something. I guess people were running 3 squads of them, so they've had a targeted nerf. And then the Stormspeeder Thunderstrike. I saw this and thought this was interesting.
Which one's that one?
This is the one that gives +1 to wound against monsters and vehicles. It was at 150. I feel like that's decent. A decent drop. I mean, if you
run it, they still look fucking ugly.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I think with Space Marines though is you just take the Vindicator tanks, right? I guess if you're running like cheaper Ballistus Dreadnoughts, sure, having +1 to wound would be cool. But I think most people just say, "Fuck it, we'll just take Vindicator tanks."
Yeah, they do everything. Still, they're great.
Yeah. So that was it.
Okay.
Victrix, like Ultramarines targeted nerfs, I guess, on Victrix Guard because they are insanely good, I guess.
Excellent. Cool.
And then Blood Angels got 1 point cost change, and it was the Sanguinar. And I guess if you take him, you'll like him fact that he's 10 points cheaper.
Cool. All right.
I'm still not a big fan of it. I'm looking at this Raven Guard detachment, and I cannot find anything that would benefit.
What units can the new character join?
And you've got it on the screen already, didn't you? It's the faction pack, so it's the one you just had up with the Terminators on, John.
Oh, was it? Sorry.
Yeah, just scroll up. It's literally that page above. That's it there.
I don't think it's so much the detachment as so much as the units Ethan Shan could join. I may be mistaken here.
That's what I was thinking. It's
is it him?
It's him. Yes.
He'll be in this somewhere as well, won't he? Because there's nothing there that benefits him. That benefits Ethan Shan 32.
SHAAN.
I was going to say, is he actually on
that one you're looking at, mate?
Page 32. Thank you.
He's got sustained hits 2, twin linked, 7 attacks, strength 5, AP 2, damage 2, so he'll blend infantry.
Go down a bit and see what units you can join. Oh, does he not have leader?
No, I think he's the lone operative. Is it not?
Not.
Is it not the other Raven Guard character?
I'm utterly wrong then. Okay, fair enough. The former chapter master.
What's his name again?
He got fired. He's not in this book. I'll look him up on.
I can look him up on the app. I think it's because you can do rapid ingresses for 0 CP, even if you've used this on the phase. And I think in the detachment you can pick units up. I think that's what it is, right? Like, so he's letting you rapid ingress for 0 CP. I think it was page 14. I think you can pick up a unit every turn if he's in your army for free.
So just look up Shrike. Shrike's loan up as well.
Yeah, so listen. So if Shan's on the battlefield, you can use Into Darkness for 0 CP. So you can pick up an Adeptus to start as infantry, which I think they were using on Vanguard veterans. So you can pick up a Vanguard veteran unit every turn and just put it down somewhere else with rapid ingress for free every turn.
Shrike's not always been known up. I'm fairly sure he either is or had leader and has been changed so that he's not anymore.
But like,
he did.
So you can move a set of you can move a squad of Vanguard around. Okay, but they're still only Vanguard veterans.
No, that's what it is. Shrike can join Vanguard veterans, and he gives them Lone Operative 12. He gives them OC2.
I believe he also shares the Phobos keyword with them because he has the Phobos keyword.
And I think you can remove them as well for free. So I think you could remove 2 units of Vanguard veterans every turn or something. There's definitely some shenanigans that they're doing with the Vanguard veterans, I think. And you can also give them precision. So you can just precision out characters with the whole Vanguard veteran squad, which is actually kind of bonkers to give the whole unit precision. There's not many things that can give that. But yeah, so I guess they got a small target in there for that. So that is... Yeah. That's the new Blood Angels detachment. That's the new Terminators.
Hold on. If you're watching this and you know the details about why Vanguard vets have been nerfed to crap,
I still don't think that's very good.
Please tell us in the comments and explain, because we should know this stuff, but we don't. So sorry.
Yeah, because I'm looking at Vanguard vets at the moment. I'm thinking even with K Van Shrike in there, yeah, all right, he's going to add a bit, but their melee profile is just shite, and there's nothing that's going to buff up their damage. 4 attacks, strength 5, AP 1, damage 1. Oh my goodness, that's going to wreck. Oh wait, it's not going to do shit.
They do have lethals. They do have lethals.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, we're speculating here, so let's move on if we've got anything else to move on to.
We don't. We don't. The episode.
No.
We shall move on to general shit talk. That should be what we move on to. And now for something completely different.
For it. I'm sure in our first episode we had a name for the segment.
Was it not Pile of Gory?
No, it's before Pile of Gory.
Okay.
And Pile of Gory only happened because of a spelling mistake.
It was not a mistake. You did it deliberately.
Well, we could wish our viewers Merry Christmas and thank you very much for watching this episode.
Yeah, that's true. We could stop trying to be awkward and think about something else to talk about and move on with it. We're almost certainly going to be doing another Drunken New Year's Eve stream, I'm sure.
Yes.
Grots Go Deep. That's what we called it.
What?
The very first episode, we called it Grots Go Deep.
That's probably why we stopped doing that. Yeah, that's fair.
It was we're like uncomfortably sexual in its kind of like connotations.
There's not a lot I'm uncomfortable with, I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
It was after the gory pile, we went deep. That was it.
Should we talk about how people were very upset at our video that said that we knew what was getting put to Legends in 11th edition?
Were they?
Yeah.
Yeah, some people...
Was it? Go back to our top gear. It was like, we received a letter. It's really a letter. There was a couple of people that were really, really upset over it, which was very, very funny. And I think rage bait is our future. I think we should aim to do more rage baiting.
Absolutely. Do write in. Do tell us exactly what you think. We will take your complaints and issues
as seriously as humanly possible.
As seriously as they deserve.
Yeah. It's been fun hanging out with you guys today.
Yeah,
and also thank you for helping me finally complete Space Marine 2 last week, because that was ridiculous.
Now you sat on that for a week. How do you feel about it? About all the whole climax and how that last level went and everything?
I thought Space Marine 2 was great, man. I wanted to play more operations with you guys. I think what happened with me in Space Marine 2 is I tried to do the PvP. I think it's more of a PvE game.
I mean, PvP is good for PvP players, but
it's
not my thing.
I think it's a more enjoyable PvE experience, and do you know what? I'm fine with that. It's just I didn't give it the right chance when it came out on the PvE side.
We stick to our schedule. This has just occurred to me. We're going to be releasing this on Christmas Day.
Yeah, that's the plan.
This is our Christmas Day episode.
It should be.
This is the work that's gone into a Christmas Day episode.
Well, do you know what? Most people probably take Christmas Day off, so hey, we showed up.
We did. I mean, we recorded it a week beforehand, but
let us know if you choose to watch this instead of watching, I don't know, some shit like Strictly Dancing.
We've decided to sack off the family to watch us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we are live. You're lying, Tony. Like, hi everybody in chat. Nice to see you.
We are live. Christmas, yay!
We are not eating mince pies.
And if it's Christmas Day, then that means tomorrow, Boxing Day, is when the next episodes of Stranger Things will be coming out. So,
and it also means that in about a week is our annual Get Shit Faced while we stream at midnight
and beg for contributions and take a shot for every $5 that get donated or any other kind of crap like that. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Are you worried you're gonna have to stock up on the alcohol now?
I mean, I've got alcohol. I'm worried I'm gonna have to drink it. To be honest,
I nearly died.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh, well.
All right.
So,
thank you very much for watching it.
In preparation and readiness for this stuff, I've got the remnants of a bottle of honey rum Beeble stuff. I've also ordered from a new company called Hive Mind that I've quite found. So I've got some whiskey barrel aged mead, which is 18%. I've got some dark cherry traditional mead, which is also that's only 12.5%. That'll be fun. And a nice huge bottle of regular mead. So that'll be getting drunk on that. Plus we've got a lovely big decanter full of what we like to call house whiskey, which is the whiskey that I was drinking last. And then when I get down to final 25% of the bottle, I pour it in here and drink out of here for a bit. And it kind of mixes and sort of becomes my own blend of all the whiskies I've enjoyed over the years. So, yeah, that's what I've got to
they call that an infinity bottle sometimes, you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Because the idea is that the bottle never ends. And it dilutes down, so it goes on for infinity. I like it.
I'm drinking non-alcoholic beer.
Well, I'm drinking water tonight because I've got
Year's
one
Eve,
day.
Not for New Year's Eve, though. No,
Yeah.
I will. I'll crack open some actual alcoholic beer rather than what I've had tonight, which is non-alcoholic beer and a cup of tea in my Ghostbusters mug. But
Cool.
yeah, so that will be. Join us on New Year's Eve for our usual shenanigans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please do. It'll be a laugh. It always is a laugh.
Yeah.
We'll get John to open his window and hear some twat from just down the road singing Auld Lang Syne or something.
Someone will join us in the chat to make it worthwhile sacking off our families to to hang out on these instead of with them. See you on the next one, guys.
Thanks for watching, guys. Good night.
Cheers.